event, we have people from different backgrounds. So the reason for speaking many things which are not necessarily coherent or cutting from each other is so that we speak to as many people as possible. Maybe one person will capture one sentence which captures their interest, the other one, and therefore you may forgive me if the first point has no relationship to the second, or even the subtopic does not relate to the topic, because we want to talk to as many people as possible by being diverse. Definitely, you have seen my name is Díed Nyoro from Karu constituency, and I'm glad also to be serving as the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee in the National Assembly. And in Karu, as part of the introduction, I am very glad about the kind of work we have done. And it is important at such kind of places where we have people who are likely to become MPs very soon, and to ascend into leadership, that we say a few things about what we are doing, because it is important. Karu is one of the largest constituencies in Kenya, in terms of, especially a rural constituency, in terms of the landmass and population, the number of institutions, especially learning institutions, and also voters. And I am glad because we have been able to do things that are already changing, not just Karu, but also in other areas that are represented by my friends who are my colleagues in Parliament. One, and I say so because looking at the faces here, I am able to see there are some people from Karu here who can bear me witness the kind of work we have done, especially in the education front. We have around 120 or thereabout public primary schools. We have transformed all of them. All of them are tiled, all the classes in our primary schools. We also have a program called Masomo Bora. Before you transition to Mount Kenya, you are from a high school. And if you never got a chance to go to that high school, highly likely you will not be seated here. And that has also been one of the areas that we consider when we are elevating education. And in that respect, Karu has around 61 day schools with 15,000 learners. All of them through a program we call Masomo Bora. In terms of school fees, they pay only 1,000 per term. The rest of the money, we are able to work out a formula using NGCDF and using backward integration and backward aggregation, so that you purchase the purchases together when it comes to foodstuff, and therefore we buy in when they are cheaper, because we take advantage of the quantity discount, and also in terms of timing of when we pay, because we pay almost immediately, we are able to cut a lot of cost. And in that respect, we transfer all those advantages to our parents by only paying 1,000. And in that also, our learners eat in school for 6 days a week, including Saturday, and every last Friday of the month, they actually take chapati in all our primary, in all our basic schools. There is one day I went to Cape Town, and then I went to London in the course of work. And when I was just walking around, I saw a very beautiful institution. Going closer, I was surprised to see the school was written that it is a Kajo school, a municipal school, basically a Kajo school, like our normal day schools. So I took a photo. When I came back home, I called our staff, that is Karu staff, and nikawaonyesha hiyo picture. And I told them that we are going to transform our primary schools, not in the standards of what we have in Kenya, but in the standards of London and Cape Town. And I am glad we have already piloted with 10 institutions. You have seen them on social media, where we have cabroed our institutions, we have landscaped, we plant palms, exotic trees. People would ask, why are you doing all them because we have seen empirically that what we do in terms of infrastructure also becomes sticky in the mind. And therefore, even the mind becomes transformed in terms of confidence, performance, and I'm glad that is happening already. I agree with those people who have talked about Kiadutu. My father used to live here in Kiadutu. And of course, most of us were in the village. That is my siblings. But of course, we could come to Kiadutu over holiday. My father was a carpenter here in Thika. In fact, one of the other areas I know so much is Thika. Because I have more relatives in Thika than actually in Murang'a. My father used to live here in Kiadutu. I could go to his house. I think the Kiadutu of now is a bit more modern. The Kiadutu of then, I could visit my father. When I'm inside the house, I could see everything happening outside. Na sio kioo. Ujitazia hapo ni nini ilikuwa. Then he had a bicycle. So because he was a carpenter, alikuwa anaitiwa kazi, ananibeba hapo nyuma, tunapiga round, tunaenda, tunafanya kazi. And in fact, when I was doing my KCPE, the mind of my father was already made that I'm joining him in carpentry. He got surprised when I got some marks which necessitated me to be admitted to a good school, admission in terms of a letter. So when my result slip came, ya KCPE, I had never seen my father more proud. Akisema, I have always told you, hii ni kijana yangu, my son. And from there, of course, the letter came. I didn't go to that school, I went to a different one. But I don't want to go to that line of motivational speaking. And I also don't want to go to the line of, you know, the things we read. I started with an A, now I'm a billionaire. I don't want that kind of things. I want to be a bit, to be more practical. Hapa, kwenye Mount Kenya iko, if you walk, ufike pale Rauda, as you go towards huko chini, kama unaenda, just the main road towards Makokeni, not this one but the other one. You see there are tall buildings lining up just in front of Moi Gardens. I hope it is still called that way even today. That place used to be called Mukireti. There were now tall buildings. Those buildings, all those buildings are new. So me, I used to sell mutuba there over holiday time in high school. So my sister used to live here, and I got hapa Biafra. And over holiday I could come, because my father aliaga nikiwa from one. So by that time I had to maneuver what to do. And being the only son, I had to figure out how to survive. So nilikuwa nakuja anaenda Gikoba na nunua mtumba, mimi nakuja hapo, nasema ni 10 ni bao. That is way of supplementing my school fees. And of course, when I was a comrade, two things happened. By the way, I'm already in the speech. Don't wait for another technical speech, comrades. So, when I was in KU, najaribu kukatakata vitu mingi. When I joined from my first year in KU, nilipata my first help. When I got my first help, nikaona kuna vile nilikuwa najipanga kama comrade. Me, I'm those kind of fellows. Unaona wale mahadiko village men, village young men. Yani vile mnaonaga tukipiga siasa haustuki, ni vivyo tu tuko. Ni vile tu tulikuwa brought up. Na basi leo Kiadutu alafu kwa mtu hivi. So, when niliingia KU, that is the point I'm trying to make. Nikajua hapa mimi sasa niko, hii degree ni yangu. Sio ya watu wengine. So ni mimi ningangane vile nitalipa fees. Sasa ni degree yangu, sio ya watu wengine. Even my mother. So when I joined, my first help, I paid my entire school fees for that first year. Because I had something I was eyeing in the second sem. In my second sem, I decided two things. And that thing, I actually also wrote it in a book that I authored when I was still in campus. Early on, I said this when I was in Tomboya University. Something came to my mind. And maybe because of the poverty na kungangana ile ilikuwa tukigrow up, I had two ambitions which were vague and broad. One, to be wealthy. Two, to be at a place where I make decisions to influence the fortunes of other people. I'm just trying to be modest by saying, being a politician. I have to use a lot of Kiingereza so that you see I am also learning. So, nikajua niko na hizi vitu mbili. So in my second sem, now after using my help yote ya first sem, nikajua naenda kwa hizi ambitions zangu mbili same time. Our second sem used to come after December holiday, because we used to join in when the year is ending. So first sem inaisha December, then January tunaingia second sem. So my second sem came, I got my help, nikaanza ka hotel pale KM. Najua mnaitaka KM. Wata nyima vijana kuna vile naona mnaitaka KM. Ama ni wale wanaitaka KM. Lakini naona kuna watu hapa mnaitaka KM kia. Najua nikiwa hapa naweza kuona hata kwa roho. So, unajua KM. Nikaanza ka hoteli hapo. Hoteli yangu ilikuwa funny. Nilikaanza around February. So nikabeba my friend wa mwele tukaenda kununua masufuria pale Kopa za kupeleka kwa hoteli yangu. Along the way, sisi tulikuwa tunaona Nairobi kila mtu ako red na black. Tukaulizana kwani Nairobi siku hizi iko na uniform. Tumebeba masufuria. Mwele akaniambia tupite Ndindi Avenue tukasalimie girlfriend yangu. Kwanza nikashtuka, yani jamaa kuna girlfriend. Tukaenda kwenda pale Ndindi Avenue, tumebeba masufuria. Unajua zile basi zilikuwa za Githurai, zilikuwa zinabebea pale hiyo stage ya KU. Karibu tu pale Ndindi Avenue. Tumebeba masufuria, tukaenda pale kwa kasoko, kwa mwele anasema ni girlfriend. Naona anatuangalia akiendelea tu na kazi yake. Unajua venye kuna mtu yani ukutreat na maana ukimaliza saa ngapi? Sema haraka, ukimaliza saa ngapi? So unajua kuna vile unaendaka mahali kubai kitu mtu anataka umalize wewe uende zako. So tumebeba masufuria, tumeenda, tumesalimia mrembo hapo. Naona ni kama hataki story mob. Si tukaenda, tukaingia gari yake hii, tukaenda na masufuria yangu. Wamgana told me later he was dumped.